Hi everybody, it's Carol and I'm back again with my Edith Holden journal, and I will be making more ephemera for it. In my last video I made, I used these cards that I had and I made a belly band in the back. I don't have them around right now. So I'm going to make something similar. I'm using the same cards and I'll be decorating them, but I'm going to make a tuck, a side tuck, to put in some journaling card. So I have two of them that I did make earlier, and I thought this would be a good project for filling in the Edith Holden journal. So there's two, and like I said before, I have 3 signatures, and I think I want to make two pieces of ephemera per signature. So I should have 4 here. Let's see. I do. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. And I only have a couple of the cards left because I have been using them in the last few months. And these are Edith Holden pages. These are scraps, and I cut them down to make so that they would fit as a pocket on the back of the card. So the cards are, they are 1, 2, 3.5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5. So 3.5 by 5.5, and the tuck will be 2.5 by 5.5. Okay, so let me just grab this and this, put these off to the side, and this is another quick and easy project. The only time-consuming anything on here would be the inking. I do want to ink the card. Now I may want to put a thumb hole on these. I do have one. Okay, there's my 1-inch hole puncher. So I'm going to ink this now because it's not that easy to get this part after it's glued down. And you could sew it. I could sew it, but I don't think I'll do that today. I'm so inspired by the Edith Holden materials here. It is so beautiful, and they do have Edith Holden material, and as of now I don't have any, and I don't know if I'll ever, purchase any, but it is beautiful. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I will glue this down. When you can use material or paper to make a hinge for this instead of just gluing it down, and make it kind of like a flip, but I'm just going to glue it down. It's a little long on this side, so I'm just going to trim that little bit off there. Okay, and I do have stained paper here, and I'm not sure, this is not coffee stained, this is, I believe this is cabbage stained paper. I don't know, I think it is, but I'm not sure. Okay, let's see if this is probably the best way. And I'm going to fold it this way with the rough edge on the outside, because I love that look. I mean, look how easy this is. This would be great for mask making, and let's see what I can do here. I could put I could put some sari silk on the front over here, just to give it a little something. Plus I'll be able to use up some of my sari silk. I was coffee dyeing papers a little bit ago, so if my fingers look a little a little dyed here, that's what it's from the coffee. It not only stained the papers, it stains my hands too. Get these little strings off. Oh, that looks pretty. Okay, and I do have a little flower piece I could put up there. Or I have something. These are just sitting here on my desk. This has a bulb pin in it. I don't need that. So I'll just take that off and see how this one goes. Or you know what, I can just put some gold bling on there. Right there on the top. I think I'll do that. Put this off to the side. This is afternoon crafting for me. Oh, what is this? I'm stuck to the bottom. Okay. Now I wanted to decorate this a little bit, but it may loosen up my... Okay, let's just play that by ear. Let's see if I can get a lady on here. Let me ink her up and see if I can get my book. Inking will help this piece to stand out a little bit more. Oh, well, look, I have the outline of the lady on the book. Okay, I like that. Let's see if I don't know. Let's see. Maybe that one was too big. Or I could bring her down, and or we can put a butterfly up here. butterfly is massive compared to that lady. Let's see if I have a smaller one. This is a little bit smaller. Maybe if I put the butterfly that way. Wonder if I put half a butterfly. You know what? I'm just going to put the butterfly up. Now, I don't know if this is a sticker or it could be one that totally has to be glued down. Oops. Oh boy. Oh, let me get a wipe to wipe that off. Okay, and we'll put the lady down there. Alrighty. Yeah, I was so inspired to do it, Edith Holden. I saw a couple of videos and I thought, you know, I do have the book, and then I bought a vintage one, a used one, which is vintage. And then I also picked up the coloring book. You know, which I think is fun because I'll put them in, I'll take pages out and put them in pockets in the Edith Holden journal. And other journals too. It doesn't have to be just Edith Holden. I could cut part of that off so it's not so big. I do that quite often. I just have it on the edge. I think it looks pretty that way. Okay, that looks good. And then we have the journal card in there, or the journal paper. Okay, so we'll put that one off to the side over there. And let's see, we have a music one. And we have the birds. You know, like I said, the cards are just a box of cards that I ordered online. And the papers, these are Edith Holden. Now, I do have that book that I'm going to be using. I'm tearing it apart and giving it new life, or a different life. Okay, so we're going to glue. You can even make a pocket and go this way. But I already made my little thumb hole. Edith Holden paper. I love this paper because it reminds me of the watercolor paper. I don't know why. It's not as thick as the watercolor paper, but it just reminds me of it because I love the texture, the way it feels. Okay, what do we have here? We can put, okay, the bird could be too big. So let's see if we can, if anything, what we can stick on there. I do have these little quotes. What I'm going to do is cut the bottom off and just keep it down close. That's pretty. That would be nice, these little yellow birds, I think. I think they go, because they're snowbirds, and this reminds me of the snow butterflies. Although I don't think butterflies are out when it's snowing. I could be wrong though. Maybe it's the color, the yellow color in the middle of the butterfly that reminds me of these winter birds. I usually have a lot of these little pieces cut out already. Okay. I'll just stick this on here. Okay, get this one down there. Clean this up. Okay, now, what could we do with this front? I think probably the best thing would be just to put some labels on here. These are Tracy Fox labels. I think we'll put a label down here and maybe this one up at the other. Just like that, maybe just keep it simple. Okay, it looks like something belongs up top here. No, that's hard to see, that little flower. I don't know, I'm not feeling that flower. Let's get the back in there. Okay, what do I have? I have these other two papers, just to keep it different. I have I like to see this, the ink on the paper when it's folded. Okay, let's see. There we go. And this is just paper that we had, and I have it outlined, the design outlined with some pencil, colored pencil, and then on the inside it's writing paper. But actually this is it's like a coloring journal. These are meant for coloring in, so it still can be, even though I'm using it, can still be colored. Okay, so we have this one done. Although I'm thinking I could probably put some kind of sari silk on the top, or maybe I'll just do like a little cluster of just like a little cluster here, and maybe put that flower on, or maybe some bling, just to give it a little something. Maybe that looks better with that, or the smaller one. No, I think I'm liking this one. I'm just going to put it on. Okay, that's looking better. Okay, so that's on there. And I'm just gonna glue these down. I'm just going to ink this front part because it'll be hard to get to it, and I'll ink the others when it's already together, if that makes sense. Okay, we'll keep the butterflies together over here. Did ink that. Wasn't sure if I inked it or not. I had to take a double look. Okay. There's a lot of journaling with this hair project that you can do when you're making something for your journal, because these papers here, I'm just going to tear this so that I have a torn edge. I just like the look of the torn edge, especially when it's inked. And this is writing paper. Okay, so we'll put you in here. No rhyme or reason why I'm putting where I'm putting it. Okay, and the other one is this one. This is gorgeous paper, by the way. I love this. Okay, so we'll put you in here. You know, you could stamp on these papers. Okay, so let's see on here. Let's see what we can put on here. Boy, that looks good on both. That little flower. I do have mushrooms. It's hard to see on there. I like that on there. Maybe this mushroom, it's a little darker. That looks good there. I think the bird is not going to work. He's not going to work on there. And I do have oh, this is pink. That may go better with this one. I think I'm going to leave it lower and just cut that little tail off. And this hair I'll put over there. No mushroom. Or maybe I'll save that for the front. Okay, we'll put you there. Oops. Okay. Let's put this label over here. I have to make sure I stay in frame when I cut, you know, because I just have I just try to keep this close to my body. Oh, that looks good there. Keep it close to me, like when I'm cutting or gluing, but then I go out of frame, so I have to be aware of that. I do like that. Okay, so then we have to see what we're going to do there, and I think maybe I'll ink this with the pink. This is how I get ink all over my fingers. Sometimes I ink while I'm holding it. Yep, my finger's getting all inky. And this is a wet ink. Okay, I think I'm just gonna trim that little tip off. Okay, that looks pretty. That looks pretty. Now, what do I have for the top? I still have look at all the ink on this brush. It's still going strong. Yes, and this looks good. I'm loving these little ephemera holders. They're really easy, and I like easy. I like to do that because then you can do mass making of it. You get a lot of bang for your buck, right? I like these John Muir quotes. I wish I had flowers out here. I could get some. Oh, I have this really pretty butterfly. Look at how many butterflies are on here. Okay, time to go into my folder here. What am I going in here for? I want to see if I can get a frame. A frame for the lady. A frame for the lady. And what was I thinking over here for? Oh my goodness. You know what would be good here? Maybe a bird. A bird amongst the butterflies? I don't know. Oh, this is so annoying. Oh, flowers. I could probably put the quote there and flowers there. And then maybe a pretty a smaller cluster. Okay, let me do that. I'm going to put this down first. You know, sometimes you second guess yourself on how you want to decorate, and usually most of the time after you put something down, it just falls together and it looks great. Either that or you just get used to what you see, what you put down. Okay. And this here, I'm going to do what I did before. I'm just going to put the cluster down here and just trim off this excess. And I'll just put a little piece of Sari silk on the top, right here in the corner. And maybe put a piece of bling on there. Should I put it that way or that way? Let's see how far it'll go. Now I could put 3 pieces of bling up there, or I can put a button on there. Usually I'll put like a piece of bling on the butterflies, but you know, there's too many. This thing will be filled with it. I'm just gonna do up at the top. I think that's fine. Okay, oh, I'm putting my stuff away, and look at, I didn't even finish this lady here. Okay, where is my, let me ink this up. Put that there. I'll have to clean my mat because I'm getting the distressed ink on it. Put this over there. I like to use the frames as the background, so to put the person's head in it, almost like a little halo. Whoops. Okay, let's see. Should I put some flowers down here by her? Maybe just a yellow rose. Or I have these here. Oh, I think I like this. Just going to tear that off there. Distress this a little bit. Oh, I do like that. Okay, that's looking good. Looking good. Okay, so we have these two that were pre-made. And these four that I just made. So now we have 6, 2 for each of the signatures. I'll probably do a couple more videos on making ephemera, and then we'll put the journal together. So there you have it. Thank you so much for coming along and joining me with these pieces for the Edith Holden journal. And you have a good rest of your day, and we'll talk next time. Bye-bye.